Hey crafters, I'm back with another drill with me. I wanted to show you what the canvas looks like that I'm working on. It's the night sky, also called sometimes like love story and different things based on the seller. It's just a generic image. And this is how much I've accomplished so far. It's really sparkly. I'm loving all the different shades of purple and gray. And let's go ahead and start drilling. Okay, crafters, I have a lot to tell you about, and I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in. I have a lot of this kind of horseshoe upside down U, and I'm gonna start on that one first. That will be DMC 798, and let me show it to you in the tray. Here's my tray, here we go. Don't want my dryer sheet to fall in. Still looking on a little scoop to use with these lockables, these Craftmate lockables. Here we go. I got the greatest suggestion the other day, let me tell you. So these drills look a little darker on my camera than what I see on my tray. Trying to, maybe, there we go. That bottom corner looks about right. Because you never know, just depending on how the light is, it really affects what you see. And I got a great suggestion because this kit actually has quite a few like just stuck together drills. And I thought I did it really well with one of the other colors. I didn't realize this one was also so stuck together. But I forget. Maybe Shannon, I forget the suggestion, who it came from, but it was that you should put your drills in a pill bottle, and I will make sure to double check on the names and give you the credit that you deserve in my next drill with me. But you put your pills in a pill bottle, close the lid, and you shake them up really hard, and that helps the drills break up. I did it again. It helps the drills break apart, and then you don't need to spend money on a drill grinder. See, right now I've got, not the best light, I've got like 3 stuck together right there, and I'm trying my best just to pick up one at a time. But, whew, okay guys, last drill with me, I told you about our flight back to the United States. And this drill with me, I was just gonna update you on what I've been doing. And it's been a lot. So the flight back was about a week and a half ago. Since then, I have been enjoying my time shopping in the United States. I've been to Michael's twice. I've been to Joann's once. I've been to Walmart, I've been to Target, and I've just been going all around. And I mean, even just like going to the grocery store, every trip out takes me about 2 hours because when I go out, I just enjoy walking up and down the aisles, seeing what's available, and just seeing like what's new. I've also really enjoyed it because in Tunisia, when you go grocery shopping, there's like one big store. And then you have your neighborhood stores, which are a little bit smaller. But when I go to the big Carrefour, I mean, that's at minimum an hour. And that's when I know where everything is located. I have a list and I'm in and out. That drill as a whole. Taking that one off. Yeah. So going to a regular store here and looking through the aisles, and what I've been most surprised about with the United States is, again, the availability of products, like green grapes. When I go to Target, when I've been to the grocery store, I can buy green grapes in the grocery store. If I want to eat green grapes right now, I can buy blueberries. I've bought raspberries and cantaloupe. And coming from a place where everything is seasonal, I've just been so in love with that. But I also had a surgery. I had surgery here in the United States, and I'm going to tell you guys all about it. I mentioned briefly in a drill with me a while back that when I come to the United States, I was gonna have a procedure done, and I've had it done, I've recovered, I'm doing really well, but I wanted to go more into detail with you and just let you guys know what I've been up to. And the surgery and recovering has been most of it. So if I'm not gonna get into obviously like details of the surgery, but if that kind of stuff makes you a little squirmy, then I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about like huge details. I'm not going to say anything too bad. But so yeah, I said that I was going to have a procedure done. Oh, and I actually, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really talk about it much because it's not a big procedure. It wasn't, plastic surgery or a serious health issue. I just had this bump on my leg, and I've had this bump on my leg for 10 years, because I remember 10 years ago, I was in Jordan and I was at the Dead Sea swimming, and I specifically remembered I went out and bought a bathing suit that I thought could try and hide this little bump on my thigh, my upper thigh. So that's how long it's been there. That's how long I've noticed it for. And over the years, it's gotten bigger. And at times when I was working out a lot, I was much more healthier than I was today. It would still get bigger. And then during both my pregnancies, it got bigger, and then I lost the baby weight and the bump was still there. It wouldn't ever get smaller. And I even bought, it was part of like a health club gym thing, and I bought like packages for Pilates. I was doing a lot of different activities, and I would always want to target the upper part of my leg, my thigh, because this bump really bothered me, and nothing was making it smaller. So I reached a point where I was just like, okay, this bump is just gonna be here. My body's so weird. My thigh is like larger on one side than the other. Fast forward to last year, so 2018, and I'm struggling to sleep well because of the bump on my leg, because of the size that it's gotten to. And just so you know, it was probably, if you took a large grapefruit, cut it in half, and attached one of the halves to my upper thigh, like the back of my upper thigh. And it became a problem. I would wake up in the middle of the night from it hurting if I slept on that side, or if I didn't wake up from it hurting in the morning, I would wake up and my leg was completely numb, like pins and needles numb. It was really uncomfortable. And I reached a point where I was just so frustrated. I had an appointment with my doctor, my general doctor, and I was like, look, do you have a recommendation for a plastic surgeon? Because I've got this bump on my leg, and I think I just need liposuction to get rid of it. And after a while, we're talking back and forth, and she's like, what are you talking about? And I said, this bump. And she's like, no, you don't need a surgeon. You're crazy. What's this bump? And I showed her, and she was like, wait, how long's this been here? And I was telling her, that a long time, and it was uncomfortable, and she had never seen, because I always try to wear shirts that go a little longer than just my waist, specifically to cover this bump. And she was like, okay, well, let me actually see, like not in pants. Like, she's like, pull down your pants. Let me actually see. I showed her, and the moment she looks at it, she's like, oh wow, you have a very large lipoma. And I was like, okay. What's a lipoma? I had never heard of it before, and I thought I was just gaining weight in a really odd way. And I was, I was working out and doing all this stuff, and she just explained to me it's kind of this little ball, these little fat cells that kind of grow out of control, and they don't evenly lie on your body. They just start growing a shape. And they can't be targeted just from working out in a healthy diet. And she said that they will keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And she suggested that I go and see a dermatologist. in the US. I actually saw her just like right before I was planning on coming back to the US for a trip, and it worked out really well. So I was like, okay, this was last year. And I'm gonna line my drills up a little better. See what I mean with, that's how sticky they are right now. They're just all clumped together, but, oh, and by the way, I am working in a shared workspace right now. In the place where we're staying, I have the kids and they're finally calm, and I realized they were getting kind of woken up just from me talking when I'm drilling. So I came to another, like the downstairs lobby to try and work. So there's a little bit more noise, but that way my talking will not distract the kids and my family. You know, I have my dad's up there watching something on his phone while and listening for the kids while I'm here. Anyways, see, this is me rambling. 2 videos into this canvas and I'm already rambling. Anyways, so I go and see a dermatologist when I come to the United States, and the dermatologist kind of like walks in. I explain I think I have a lymphoma, looks at my leg and says, yep, that's a lymphoma, but it's way too big for me as a dermatologist to do anything or to remove it, and you need to see a surgeon. And that really scared me. I was excited and I was ready for this appointment, but then he said surgeon, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like surgery. And I was able to get an appointment with a surgeon last year when I was in the US, and he just, looked at my leg for 10 seconds. And he's like, yeah, you've got a lipoma. It's got to come out. I told him that I was having a really hard time sleeping. I told him the pins and needles I was feeling in my leg. And he's like, yeah, that's over time, that's going to put a lot of uneven pressure on your hips. And he explained how medically at this size and with the things I was telling him that it needed to come out. And I didn't know when I was going to be leaving when I was going to be leaving Tunisia to make another trip back to the US. I knew I wasn't able to get the surgery at that moment, but I actually planned everything like over the phone and through email for right now when I came back to the US with the kids in between Tunisia and Germany, and I did it. I had the surgery, and I don't know, I was so excited going in and getting ready, and I never felt really nervous. So like before the surgery, it talks about, you need to shower, no perfume, no makeup, nothing like that. And I think if anything, I started to get nervous just because by the time I was getting checked in for my surgery and everything, I had showered just a few hours ago, and I'm like, geez, without deodorant, I hope I don't smell. But okay, that's really weird and TMI, but I didn't feel like nervous about the surgery. I was really excited and looking forward to it. I did the whole check-in process, and it was at a surgical center. Just kind of talking with the nurse, I had my first bit of nerves when she was telling me that people have stated the procedure is very painful. And she said, after your procedure, we are going to work on monitoring your pain level. And we want to make sure you reach about a 4 out of 10 pain level wise before you can leave here. And that got me nervous. That got me really scared. I mean, when someone's telling you you're about to do something so painful, and then before the surgery, they had me start taking pain meds, and not narcotics, just like I think I took like 2 Tylenol and 2 maybe Motrin or something like that, or I took 2 Motrin and something that had Tylenol in it. I took like over-the-counter kind of stuff. They had me take 4 before the surgery. And then I went back, and it was one of those situations where, I got into the operating room, and I laid down on the table, and they said, like, okay, we've now started your IV anesthesia, and like, bam. I don't remember anything after those 2 words because it started. It happened so quickly. I wasn't kind of laying there for a while, so that also helped. Like, I just didn't have time to get nervous after that. And they told me, the procedure was just minutes. It's not a long procedure at all. Very, very short. And I woke up still like on the operating table because they said that the anesthesia I was getting was just, it was, strong enough that you're under for the procedure, but they said like as soon as they take the IV out, you'll wake up within seconds. And I was like, oh, okay. So I woke up and I was like, can I see it? How weird is that? It's pretty weird. But they're like, sure. And they showed me the lipoma. They had it in like a sealed medical container because, they're just going to send it off and double check it's not any weird cells. They don't think it is concerning at all. There's no signs based on health and all that other stuff that it would be anything. So I got to see it. Oh, that was so crazy. So I'm gonna put my hand, if you're drilling, if you're crafting with me, look at the screen. I'm gonna put my, I'm so zoomed in. I'm gonna unzoom to hopefully give you a better idea. Oh, there's my stand, okay. Wow, I'm still so zoomed in. Oh wow, this looks so good. Okay, my 3 knuckles here. I compare it to about if I were to take my hand this size, not my full hand, with that size. And the doctor, when I was talking to him, he's like, yeah, it's gonna be a sizable lipoma, but he's like, sorry, it's not gonna be a record breaker for me. It won't even be anywhere close. And that got me thinking, how big of a lipoma have you taken out? And I didn't ask him, I should have. Anyways, yeah, and then afterwards, it was just, you go to a little recovery room and the pain level that they talked about, I was really surprised because for me, this whole thing, from start to finish to recovery, everything, my pain level was barely a 1. Barely a 1. And I am not I handle pain well person. I stub my toe and I fall to the ground holding my foot, crying, going, why? No, it hurts so bad. But really, the procedure, since it's just skin that they went through, and then they kind of cut these little they call it a tumor. And when I hear the word tumor, I think of something really serious. So I'm not calling it a tumor, but they refer to it as a tumor. And so just cutting all of that out, it wasn't like muscle, it's not broken bone, nothing like that. So pain-wise, for me, it was barely anything. And I mean, I've had TMI, I've had a C-section, so I've definitely experienced something much more painful. So maybe that also helped me by realizing it wasn't that bad. And recovery was really simple. Incredibly simple. I got out of the hospital. Guys, this is so silly. I'm sorry. I'm the silliest person. So I got out of the hospital, and my dad was there with me for the procedure, and we had a friend with the kids, like a full day of activities for them. So sometimes I wonder if they even noticed that I was gone for like 3 hours. But they had a really fun time. I'm with my dad, and he's gonna drive me home, and I kind of fall back into this like, I don't know, childish mentality where I'm just like, Dad, and he's like, yeah, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Can we go get coffee after the surgery when we go home? And he's like, yeah, we'll go get you a coffee. I just, I was back to normal already. I was back to normal and trying to figure out how I'd get a coffee. And I did. I stopped and got a coffee on the way home. Saw the kids, played with the kids for a few minutes, and by play, it was really just saying hi, hugging, talking to them, checking out what they were working on, not like running around. I sat down with them for a little bit, but after that, I just went and laid in bed for a few hours, and that was it. I mean, even for pain management, I was just doing, Tylenol or Motrin. It really wasn't that bad. Looking back at all of this, I really wish that I had mentioned something to a doctor sooner, because it's countless how many nights I was waking up with my leg just being really numb, how uncomfortable it was, feeling this thing in my leg, and I was just so foolish of like, my body is just gaining weight in a really weird way. Oh, that didn't have anything on it. And so since I started this process, like with the surgery, I was also told there's like a TV show now on TV in the US pretty much about this. I'm gonna take a break. So I've done a lot of this like upside down U horseshoe, and I just wanna switch colors. I'm going to switch to this little tree symbol. With cards, I always forgot it, like which one was spades and which one was clubs. And I would be like trees or puppy dog feet. So I'm gonna put this one back, and the trees is literally just 1 DMC over 797. It's a little bit of a darker blue than what I was just working with. I gotta figure out the best way to work with my craft lockables. I will be working on getting a spoon, because then I got my drills that kind of get stuck in here. For some reason, this one comes with a random orange. Yeah, and then I'm kind of trying to get my drills out of this space. I love them though. Do not get me wrong. I really, really love them. Child-proof drill holders. It's what I need with 3 kids, 4 and under, running around. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what it looks like. Oh, a truck just pulled up. So this is, okay, so this is purple, but I feel like on my screen it's really coming off blue. How do I get, no, it's definitely a bluish purple, but it looks really blue on screen. Let me put it next to the blue I just did and see if there is a better way to check the color out. Yeah, the one right below it was also this same color. I worked on this, I used this DMC the last time I drilled. So let me do these few. I'm gonna pull back. Yeah, okay, it does, it has a purple tone to it, but okay, yeah, it's a purplish blue. Okay, it looks better on the canvas than I think it did in my drill tray. But I had no idea there was this show. I had no idea that these were, I guess, kind of common, because the doctor's like, yeah, my day is really just filled with surgeries, removing lipoma. It's not unusual. So I do wish that I had thought of something. If I had didn't have one there. If I had just brought it up earlier, because it's something that I've noticed for so long, and I really could have just handled it before. Now, I have recovered the recovery, and how my leg looks is not what I expected. Now I'm happy, but it's not what I expected, to be totally honest with you guys. That truck is so loud, and I know you guys can hear it because it's just echoing through this whole lobby. Okay. Anyways, so I was told that there would definitely be a divot in my leg from where this came out, and I do. I have a divot. It's there. The doctor has let me know over time it'll just fill back in with normal fat, and it won't be an issue at all. So not a concern of mine at all. What I am bummed about, and really I have no reason to be bummed, but so it looks like this whole big ball that I thought was gonna come out of my leg is not out of my leg. So only about half of it came out, and the rest of it is still in there. Now, I haven't talked to the doctor because after the surgery, you know, you're a little out of it. He went and talked to my family, but he didn't talk to me. I do have my follow-up appointment, and I'll really ask him why it's there, but that means that that's not the lipoma. And I think it's either two things, and I'll let you know after my follow-up appointment next week. It's either the regular kind of fat of my body that just had to grow in a weird way because the lipoma was there growing and maybe, you know, blocking my regular, like, I don't know what it calls when your body puts fat places. Or it's there as my body starts smoothing my leg out. That will kind of smooth into the divot. So I don't know which one it is, but next week I talk to the doctor and figure it out. Next week is, you know, my follow-up appointment, and really, like, next week, this is all just behind me. I mean, I can't, like I said before, I can't even think of how many sleepless hours I've spent, how many times I've woke up in the morning, like, not being able to really walk around because my leg just hurt so bad. My back, my hips, everything ached. And, you know, it was so easy to fix, really simple. So I'm glad I did it. But that was actually really the first part of our home leave back. And since then, I've got a little piece of, like, it's not on the camera, I've got a little piece of glue or something stuck. I need to get my tweezers for that. Since then, I haven't really done very much getting out and about, but I've done a little bit, and this week we're gonna do so much more. But that's really it. I have other things to fill you on. I'm going to fill you in on more in the next drill with me. I wanted to keep this one a little bit shorter because I feel with everything going on, I could really make these super long, and with this truck just idling right by me and the microphone, I don't want the rest of my video to be all this noise. So I'm gonna go ahead, cut things off. I'm still working on this canvas. I'm gonna get a little bit more done tonight. The end date, I need to finish this by May 15th. And I'm going to start posting Drill With Me's every other day. So 2 days after this one goes up will be the next Drill With Me, every other day. We're gonna get this done, we're gonna craft it together, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, crafters.